Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrea and this is Beauty with Andy. I hope you're all doing really well. So today's video is going to be a look using this Sunkissed Fluorescent Glow. It's really reminiscent of the Huda neon ones. I can't remember the full name. But this, I thought it was by a company called Technique because Technique do them as well. I didn't realise it was Sunkissed. Sunkissed is a more inexpensive brand, shall we say. I hate the word cheap, and I know you guys might not like that either. So I don't know how it's going to perform. It might be a lousy palette, but we're going to try it anyway. But before we get into that, I'm hoping the audio on this is going to be a lot better than previous videos. Now, I have watched a couple of videos back that you guys have said that you can't hear the sound on. You can just hear like the background music. So I've watched a couple of them back, and the weird thing is I can hear it fine. The only problems I really had is when I used the external microphone and I forgot to actually attach it to my shirt. So all you could hear was me talking really quietly, and in one of the videos I had to do like voiceover because you can barely hear me at all. So there was those. I think there's about 3 videos in total. Anyway, I'm just using the microphone off the camera. I'm really hoping this camera is not on its last leg, otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do, because obviously my Olympus camera is not working either. So I spoke to someone in the camera shop, not where I would normally go because Jessop's is still not open, but Wilkinson Camera did say to me that they do send lenses off for repair. You have to pay £20 up front, and regardless of whether that lens can be fixed or not, obviously you'll still be £20 out of pocket. The only thing that I would really know is obviously whether it can be fixed or not, and I don't know how much it would cost to get fixed. The lenses range from, the lens that I've got on the camera ranges from £150 to £250. I don't have that kind of money. And then a kind of pro lens ranges from £250 all the way up to £800, guys. £800. My camera only cost, with an additional lens, I think I paid under £1,000 for it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that camera. I don't know whether it's worth even getting the new lens fixed. I have checked on eBay and there are some Panasonic lenses that would probably fit the camera, and they range from about £90. So I could take it into the shop and just see how much they would charge to repair it. The only thing with repairing the lens, would it happen again in a year's time? And they also said what you could do as well is you could think about getting a used lens, and they're like 120 they start at, and I'm like, yeah, but I mean I could have the same issue there, couldn't I? You know, I could have it for a year and it could do the same thing. If I knew Olympus EPLA lenses and cameras were prone to do this, I would never have got it. It's not that old of a camera, I think it's 3 or 4 years old, so in regards to cameras it's not really that old. My other lens that's on it is fine, so it's just the main lens that came with the camera body that's causing me problems. So I don't know what to do. I think I will actually take it into the shop and just see if it can be repaired, and if so, for how much. Now if they quote me for over £90, I'm just going to order a new one from eBay, and hopefully that will work. If it doesn't, then I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to think about selling the camera. I know there's quite a lot of these cameras for sale on eBay. I might end up selling it and putting it towards another camera. Initially, like long term, I only use my camera for YouTube videos and taking blog posts. That's why I need that portrait lens. I might further down the line I might get a better iPhone, like an iPhone 11, but that's a long way down the line. It's at least a couple of years away. So I'll get either an iPhone 11 or the newest one on the market and see if I can film with that, because you know, I keep worrying about these cameras going on me. I do have an iPhone 6s, but the quality of the camera isn't that great. What I need to invest in is a tripod, I think, just as a backup in case the camera goes on me completely. So that's that, guys. So yeah, I'm hoping the volume of this is going to be fine. I checked on the camera as well. The volume on the camera wasn't turned up as high as it could be turned up, so I've turned it up to maximum, so it might be too loud now, but it's better too loud than not loud enough. But like I said, when I played it back on my end, and I tried on 3 devices, I tried it on my iPod, my iPhone, not my iPod, my iPhone, my iPad and my laptop, and I could hear it just fine. When I used the external microphone, I heard fuzziness. I will give it that. So that external microphone is useless. I'm not going to be using it again. I want to get, when I've got a little bit more money, one of those Rode ones, and they're meant to be really, really good. But for now we'll just use it as the camera comes, and hopefully it will kind of repair itself. Anyway, you've come here for the look, and we've been talking for 5 minutes probably at this point. So yeah, we're going to be using the Sunkissed Fluorescent Glow palette. I haven't really figured out what I want to do. Maybe going with this orange shade here. I don't think I'll be using these reds, just because I don't like reds. And obviously we're not going to be using all of the eyeshadows, because you get 9 in the actual palette. Oh, could do with a mirror though, couldn't I? Right, let's begin. So again, they don't have names on. Okay. Right off the bat, it is pretty pigmented. I might do 2 looks with this palette. Obviously not today. If I didn't have to go out today, if I didn't have to go to my mum's, I would do one eye. Completely different to how I'm doing this eye. But I do, and I don't really want to go out with 2 completely different eyes. This is a good crease shade. It's orange, but it's kind of got a tinge of brown in. And it's not pigmented, so if you're a beginner you can pretty much keep slapping the shade on until you've got the desired pigmentation. Right, I think that's about right for a crease shade. I might take it into the V though. I make so many phone calls today, guys. Right, so do you remember me telling you that my mum was discharged from hospital not so long ago? Well, they discharged her. That was fine. But they sent her home with all these tablets. More tablets. She went in and obviously, like with most cases, she came back with a lot more tablets than she went in with. And because I wasn't in the hospital with her, I didn't know what these tablets were for. So prednisolone, when she went into the hospital, she was on 5 every other day. Now, if you have myasthenia gravis, or you know anyone with myasthenia gravis, you'll know that these are used in conjunction with whatever tablet that they're on. Like my mum's on the pyridostigmine bromide, or Metison, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a technical term. So that is the tablet she uses for the myasthenia gravis. And like I said, she's on prednisolone as a steroid, and she was on 5 every other day. Now, like since she's been in hospital, they've increased the dosage to 11 tablets, so 55 milligrams, and then she's on some other tablet which I can't pronounce, like something like azathioprine or something. I can't pronounce it, and I couldn't pronounce it when I was in talks with the doctor, which I'll get into in a sec. But I'm not a medical expert. I do try my best when it comes to tablets. So at the minute she's on 50 milligrams. On Wednesday she will go to 100. So she'll be on 100 milligrams of this azathioprine and then another 55 milligrams of the prednisolone until like further notice. The specialist hasn't contacted me, even though he knows I do a medication. I mean, if she didn't have me doing this medication at home, she would be completely lost, because she's obviously a woman of, like, she's 70, so she's an elderly woman, and the way they've done it, the way they've discharged her doesn't make any sense. I even said to the doctor today that I said, I'm really confused about her tablets. I'm confused about these prednisolone. Basically what it's saying is she takes prednisolone at 55 milligrams, and then she's taking this azathioprine starting at 50 milligrams, and then on the 8th of July it goes up to 100 milligrams, and then the week after 150 milligrams. So does that mean that they want to reduce the steroids then? And he looked at the notes, because he had the discharge papers, the same ones that I did, and he went, "Oh Andrea, this is a real poor discharge. I'm really sorry you're having to cope. You're having to deal with all this. You shouldn't have had to deal with it." And I said, "I just don't know what to do. You know, I'm a bit at my wit's end." And he said, "Yeah, I can fully appreciate that." And then he said, "What consultant is she under?" So I told him. So he's going to speak with the consultant, and pretty much find out, you know, what's going on, get to the bottom of it, because it doesn't say when we've got to decrease the prednisolone, which are the steroids. I don't know if they want it at that level until she goes and sees the consultant in 3 months' time, which I just think's appalling. She's only seen a consultant in 3 months' time, and she's been quite ill for the past 3 weeks. I would have thought that she would have seen a consultant a lot earlier than that. And I know they've got other patients. You know, I know my mum's not the only patient they have, but I would have thought maybe a week or 2 weeks, and then they'd want to see her again. But no, it appears not. So then I said, right, so she's really struggling, like, to get out and about, and she's been told to shield. Can somebody come to the house, because she's been given all these blood forms, and take her blood? And he went, "Oh, have they not sorted that out either?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm just wondering if somebody can come to the house." And he said, "Well, a district nurse should have been, you know, all that should have been sorted out." So basically what they've done with her is packed all her medication into a bag and then kind of said, "Off you go," which I just think is appalling. But I mean, I know we're in a pandemic, and I keep saying this, but I can't use that as excuses for this particular hospital that I went to when I had my nasty accident, and also that my mum was in. When my mum was in the hospital, the nurses were absolutely brilliant with her. Seems to be the doctors that are the main issue. But like when I rung the nurses up to try and get more information about this on Friday, they had no clue. They couldn't get access to her records. So they only had limited access to things. They couldn't get access to it just because she'd been discharged, which is, it defies belief really. I mean, whether she's been discharged or not is irrelevant. They should still have access to the patient's information just in case something important crops up. But yeah, I mean, that was that. So yeah, so I had to make quite a few phone calls. Then I had to order some more medications. Spoke to the doctor about some medications that the reception couldn't put through because the discharge only came through on Friday. Because she was only discharged on Friday, so they only got it late Friday. In fact, I think they said that they only got it today, this morning. So they couldn't give me the prescription. She said to me, she said, I'll have to get a doctor to speak to you about it. And I said, well, I'm speaking to a doctor this morning. And she said, well, I'll put that on the note so he knows. So I mean, there was a lot that he had to deal with this morning when he called me. Like, there was 3 separate issues, and he was upset. I was upset. Just because obviously I've wanted my mum home now for a while, and I want the best for her. I don't want to be doing things that I shouldn't be doing. Even though I'm just following the discharge letter and all the medications on the list, what happens if I give her what they tell me to give her and she shouldn't be taking it? Then what? Then it's my fault because I've given her those particular medications, and I wouldn't be able to live with myself if anything really bad happened to her. Anyway, let's go back to the eyeshadow, because I'm rambling on about, you know, what's been going on over this last day. I don't know what eyeshadow to use, guys. The shimmers look pretty much lackluster. This one looks like kind of unique though, so shall we use that all over the eyelid? Might have to spray it. If this palette's no good, I'm going to give it to my niece. I've used some Sunkissed products in the past. The only Sunkissed product I've really liked is the bronzer I've got in my collection. I mean, it's kind of the makeup you buy for teenagers. I just thought it was Technique. Technique's slightly better. But it was only $1.99, so. Yeah, it's not very pigmented. Definitely gonna have to build it up by spraying the brush. Sounds real windy outside. Oh, and another thing that I have to do every night now as well for my mum. It's pretty much a nuisance. The last time she takes her tablets it's 12 o'clock at night. So after 12 o'clock at night she needs to be on this machine. It's a breathing machine. They give them to people who've got sleep apnea, so it helps like with their oxygen levels. And I have to fit the mask to her face every single night, which I don't know what's going to happen when I go back to work. If she needs me to do it at 12 o'clock at night and we can't make it a little bit earlier, like 11 or something, I might have to consider speaking to social services and just asking if a carer can come out at 12 o'clock once a night and doing that for her, because there's no way that she can do it for herself. There's all these different straps. She gets stressed even when I'm putting it on her, because of the noise from the machine, which is fair enough. So yeah, we'll just have to see how I get on with that. I mean, at some point I am going to be going back to work. She's not sick enough to warrant me being a full-time carer, and she doesn't want that. I don't really want that. I want to go back to work and, you know, kind of start working again. I mean, Right, so I'm going back in with that same shade. I've sprayed the brush just with my Glow Intensity Primark brush. It's definitely making it more pigmented. Keep trying to look into that palette mirror. Right, so I'm going to show you what it looks like compared to this eye, but you might not be able to see it a great deal because I've got my external light on. Right, so that's that eye, the one that I've built up with the spray, and then that's that eye. Like when I'm looking in the mirror, this one definitely looks more pigmented. So we're going to build it up again the same way. Really don't know what to have for my tea tonight. It's getting quite late, so I need to think about what I'm having. I think I might just get something and make it at my mum's. I'll just get some sandwich meat. Can't be bothered making anything here. Yeah, that's nice. That's real pretty. I keep looking at this yellow on this palette. I am obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with yellow, and I'm really getting this. I'm getting this palette from Makeup Obsession, and I think it's called Sunshine Makes Me Smile or something like that. That should actually be here either tomorrow or Wednesday. So I've not done my Shop My Stash this week because I want to pull these new products that I'm getting so we can do a little try on. I've still got my Lick and Lash palette just there, and I'm not going to use that until I've used like kind of the newer palettes, and they're going to go up first. So I'm just going to leave it out, I think. But yeah, this yellow in this palette looks quite nice, doesn't it? I don't know whether to put it through the crease. Let's put it through the crease anyway. I just don't want it to make that orange that I've done look muddy. Let's just... Now it's fading the orange out. Now that's obviously what that looks like with the yellow, and then that one's still quite vibrant. But we can go back in with orange over the top. I thought it might do that. I thought it might make it a little bit muddy. Right, let's go back in with the orange. I mean, I've spoke to quite a lot of people and they're like, oh, I don't like yellows. And I'm thinking, how can you not? Yellow just looks so beautiful on the eyes, especially around this time of year. Right, so what we put in on the inner corner, I did think about putting that yellow on the inner corner, but it's a matte and I don't like putting matte eyeshadows on the inner corner. So, whoops, nearly dropped the brush. I think we're going to go in with this shade here. It's like, is it like a champagne shade? Yeah. I'm just going to put it into the lid a little bit. I might have to wear this. I feel like an alcoholic beverage, you know. I don't know if it's because my mum's out of hospital and it's kind of like I'm in a celebratory mood. But that's what I feel like. I don't think I've got anything in apart from a little bit of Malibu. Well, Morrison's own Malibu, so it's not even Malibu. And the Baileys my mum got me for my birthday back in February. Don't really feel like anything like that. Maybe I'll go and get a little bottle of Copperberg from Tesco. So a sneaky bottle of Copperberg with my tea. And maybe I'll do that. Right, let's spray on the brush. So that's the spray that I use like to set all my eyeshadows if you're interested. We're doing quite well. It's down there at the moment. I wouldn't buy this again. Yeah, I've not had an alcoholic drink for a long period of time. I don't normally drink in the house though. And being in lockdown hasn't bothered me when it comes to drinking. I just don't care one way or another. I mean, I see a lot of people on Facebook just using this as a great excuse to get drunk, but I haven't. Like, my mum can't drink anyway. She's on so many tablets, so I don't always feel comfortable drinking around her. So I just don't, you know, I don't drink that much. Right, shall we use that yellow on the lash line and see how it looks? I mean, it could go horribly wrong. I'm going to use the accent brush. So since the fall, we're digressing again, since the fall that I had, like, when I have to go out, I am literally, it sounds funny, but I mean, the way I felt, it wasn't that funny at the time, and because I've not got serious injuries, I can kind of laugh about it, but I'm actually walking like Bambi at the minute now, because I'm always concerned about, it's like I'm scared to actually walk on the street, because I think that I'm gonna fall. I mean, when my mum knew that I hadn't really injured, that she knew that I'd obviously injured myself, but not to the point where, you know, it was anything to worry about. Cuts and grazes, basically. I don't know what's going on with my nose, but that's still really, really sore. She was like, "You've always been a clumsy child," and I'm like, "Yeah, I have." And she's like, "You just need to be more careful when you're walking." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, Mum." I got a bike, and I'm talking years ago as a child. I think it was about maybe 9 or 10. And I love this said bike, but I hadn't had it that long, so I was still learning how to use it. So I remember being on the pavement near where I lived. It was in the old house where we lived at the time, and I was on the bike, and someone was in the way. I think someone came in the way unexpectedly, so I pressed the like the brakes, but I must have pressed them like far too tightly, and the next thing I know, I'm toppled over the handlebars, and I'm on the floor. My knees are completely grazed, and I didn't even think about that poor bike, so I just ran home crying my eyes out, and the bike was just on the street where I left it, and my mum's like, "Where's your bike?" And I'm like, "It's down there still." And she went, "Go and get your bike." So I'm there trying to limp for the bike, and I'm like, oh my god, my legs were so bloody because I wore a dress that day. I am so glad that I had jeans on when I took that fall though the other day. Otherwise, God knows what state my legs would be in. It's not the best yellow, this matte one. You have to really build it up to get any payout. Maybe it would look good all over the lid though. They're not the worst eyeshadows I've ever used. Right, so let's do some blending. Yeah, they've blended in really, really well, guys. I mean, there's no harsh lines. They've just blended in really, really nicely. I'm going to put some shimmer on the brow bone. Now, I don't normally do that. I normally go in with a matte shade, but obviously there isn't any. I'm going to go in with that shade again here. Yeah, I definitely think I should do another look with this palette and then give you kind of a first impression. Oh dear, hardly any's coming off. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's quite nice on the brow bone. I'm rubbing it in with my finger, but it's going into my brows. I put a little bit too much on, never mind. It's like a silver pink, I would say. Right, can you hear them upstairs? Takes a piss. Right, so I just need to get my mascara, my eyeliner and my lippy, and I'll be back soon. Right, so let's start off. Oh, what have I done? I don't know. I'm going to start off with the MAC Graph Black eyeliner and just tight line with it. Which I hate doing. I'm so late with the lipstick edit, guys. It's over a week late as well. And speaking of my lipstick edit, let's do this and then I can tell you. Speaking of my lipstick edit, I was looking at lipsticks yesterday because I was thinking what can I wear this time around, and I was looking for my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk and it's nowhere to be seen, so I think I've lost it. I've looked in bags that I've had, nowhere to be seen there. I've only really used 2 bags in the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 weeks, and that's my blue Longchamp one and my River Island black one that I've been using the last 3 weeks, and it's not there. It's not in any of my coats that I've used recently. I mean, these are like between £23 and £25 lipsticks. I barely used it, so I'm really gutted about that. I mean, of all the lipsticks that I've got in the collection, it has to be a Charlotte Tilbury one that I've lost. So I'm going to keep trying to find it. I don't think I lost it when I took that tumble, but I possibly could have. I didn't hear anything drop, just egg smash, which it could have been, again, a lot worse. So yeah, I don't know what I've done with that lipstick. It wasn't a lipstick I wore often anyway. It's the same with like the majority of my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I don't wear them that often. The 2 that I wear really often are Tell Laura and 1975 Red. They're both orange toned red, so I'm glad it's not one of them. I'm certainly not going to be rebuying it again, but it's just an iconic lipstick, isn't it, of Charlotte Tilbury's, that Pillow Talk. But yeah, I am a bit cheesed off about that. Hopefully it will turn up when I very least expect it, and if it does, I will obviously let you know where I found it and whatnot, but for now, yeah, I just can't find it. So now we're going in with the Collection Volumizing Mascara. I don't know when I'm going to do that lipstick edit, probably either tonight when I get back from my mum's or tomorrow. I've put the project pan update for June up today, so that's gone up. 2 videos are going up today, so we've got the project pan update, and then we've also got the last video that I filmed using the I Heart Coffee palette mini series, 5 days 5 looks. I hope you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed filming it for you guys. I definitely think going forward things like that are going to be a mini series. Not necessarily 5 days 5 looks. With the smaller palettes it'll be 3 days 3 looks. I mean, I could definitely do 3 days 3 looks with this one, but I think I'm only going to do two looks with it. Yeah, I think I will. Just because I don't know how the rest of the shades are going to perform. But yeah, this look is just going to go up as a one-off look, and we'll do another look with it probably next week at some point. I really like it. It needs a little bit more of a blend on the left eye, which I always forget to do. Just really nice and pretty. Then I'm going to go in with the Mally Lip Crayon in Burley Bloomed. This one's really nice. It's a nice everyday pink. I've had it ages. Yeah, it's from Mally. I thought for an instant then it was from Tarte, because I've got a Tarte one like this. And what I really like about these lip crayons is the sharp. Obviously it's a lip crayon, and you don't actually need a mirror to put it on. It just kind of finds your lip line. So yeah, I like that. So they're very handy for on the go. Obviously if you've got a compact mirror, just get it out and apply it on the go. But yeah, I really like the fact that you don't need to. So guys, this is the look. I mean, what do you think, guys? At the minute, I do like it. I do think it's worth the money, but I need to test some of the other eyeshadows out. It just says it's infused with minerals as well. And you get 9 times 1 grams. It says against animal cruelty, and it's vegan friendly as well. So that's quite good. And you get 9 eyeshadows. So I'm going to continue to use it for at least one more look. And next time I'm in bodycare, I might get the purple one that they had. And then when I go into TJ Hughes, they've got the Technique ones. I might pick up the Technique and we can compare them. If I'm getting a lot of use out of these, then I might pick up one of the Huda ones as well. But the Huda ones are like £25, aren't they? And these are like £2.99. So yeah, it depends just how much I'm going to use it, really. So guys, this is the look. This is the video. So we'll conclude it here. I'll say goodbye for now. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and most of all, please comment. I love interacting with you guys so much. It really does mean a lot to me. Love talking about makeup with you all. So yeah, I'll leave it here and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.